So, ooh, my very professional setup. As you can see, I've got my laptop on top of my shoebox, an empty shoebox, and that's how we're making it work. So, welcome to day 21 of the Prune and Bloom Challenge. And today, what we're going to do is prune feeling like an online space isn't our home. And I think this is really, really important because when we are using any space that's online, whether it's for our business or if it's to connect with people or it's to get inspiration, whatever it is, we need to make sure that it feels like our space. And so some of the things that I like to do are to think about what do you need to do, to set your intention for that because the intention for that space is what we want to bloom. Now, for an example, I'll use Facebook. So there are many people who could be using Facebook for their business to make connections, and it could be a place where there are things that they really want to start to explode in their lives. Those things could be happening there, but they're not doing it because their dad is on there, just as an example, or cousins, ex-partners, whoever. Now, there's one argument which says that you should push yourself and you should just deal with the discomfort and get out of your comfort zone and don't worry about them. But the other argument is we can say, okay, and I always do this with my coaching clients, is let's look at how can we expand your comfort zone. So how can we make your comfort zone around you much bigger? And one of the things that we can do is we can say, okay, I am using this space for my business. Or for me, I don't really enjoy Facebook at all. I keep it because I'm in some courses where the groups are on Facebook, but also living in different countries, there are really useful Facebook groups. There's one which is like legal advice in France. When I find random dogs on the road in Spain and in France, I can usually go to a Facebook group and people will help me find the owners or they'll help me find a shelter for them if needed. So I know that for me, it's useful in those ways. So I set my intention and set my rules and then start to prune or put in place measures that allow it to be my space, to be my home. Now, that can be taking the decision to have certain topics that you won't talk about. So I've done this recently with my Instagram account. I felt when I went into the Instagram account, it just felt like there was just a storm around me, lots of people shouting. It felt very Twitter, actually. There was a real kind of Twitter feeling to it. And I just thought, is this helpful? Am I helping anything? Am I contributing to anything? Now, you may take a different decision. You may realize, okay, no, this is a cause I really care about. This is a platform that I can use. It aligns with my strengths to really make a difference. I'm going to do what I can to create safety for myself so that this is my home for that intention, right? And in that case, fabulous, go for it. But you may also find that actually you want that to be your space for inspiration and connection, and you don't want that to be a place for activism, and you don't feel that you're contributing anything to it. So you take the decision, okay, I'm going to mute certain people, I'm going to unfollow certain people, I'm going to set these rules up for myself so that if people say something in a certain way, I will decide if I'm going to go along with that or not. And really think about, if this was my home, what would I be okay with? At what point would I say, time for you to leave? Or actually, you're not coming in. I can see the look on your face. You can stay out, right? So we can think about this in all the areas. We can think about it in our actual home as well, right? We can start with digital spaces and creating that intention for creating sanctuary and security and, an idea salon or a place where you are influencing and platforming. And we can then also do that in our own communities, in our friendship groups, in our lives, in our business. So it's just like a starting point. And it's a way for you to play and to see how it feels as you're doing it. So your action step is to think about today your online space, or you can think about another space, and just think about, okay, do I want that to feel like home? And if not, where do I want to feel like home? Do I want a space to feel like home? Or do I just want my home to be my home? Maybe you are have been experimenting with social media for a while and you realize, you know what, I actually want to build my business through a podcast relationship or through emails. This is one of the reasons that I have our free community on Mighty Networks is I pay for it. I pay for that space so that I don't have to have the data of how my community interacts sold, so that it's free. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm doing the like inverted commas, free. It's not free. Okay, so I have taken that decision. Yeah, it costs more money in the short term, but in the long term, I'm investing in creating that space that feels like home for me and for my community, and where they can come and they can heal and they can connect. I don't believe that I will contribute to anything massively using my voice on Instagram. I really don't right now. I just think the best thing that I can do there is step back and allow more space for people's voices who are useful. But what I can do is I can create that space for connection and that home and that place for people to see that actually we're all pretty similar. We have pretty similar wants and pretty similar needs inside the Life Atelier, which is my Mighty Network. So pick your space, decide one thing you're going to do to reclaim it, to make it more your home. That can be a boundary, or it can be doing something, instigating something, inviting a person, kicking a person out. And then come and share it in my community in the Life Atelier. And if you want to get coached on it this Saturday, or if you're listening to this after Saturday, the following Saturday, it will still be this Saturday, we have a free event, which is the Coaching Atelier. So it's coffee, coaching. I mean, you've got to bring your own coffee because it's virtual, but I'll be having a coffee. You can have a coffee. We have a discussion topic, and you've got the chance to get some coaching. And it's really like a little taster of what it's like to be inside my coaching membership, Prune and Bloom. And I just love, I just think they're so useful. It's really, really useful for you to come and get some ideas and connect. Okay, see you tomorrow.